Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of ENags versus the NFL. This one's going to be an early morning edition. We've got an early game day. We've got the Jets at the Falcons. This is going to be insane, but it's in London. Before we hop into that, I kind of want to give you guys my overall rundown so far. So, money line on the year, I'm 27-18, and also against the spread, I'm also 27-18. So honestly, not that bad. The first week was really bad. I went 8-7 in both. Second week, I went 9-6 against the money line, and then 10-5 against the spread. And then the next week I flipped. I went 10-5 against money line and then 9-6 against the spread. So hoping to capitalize on another great week. So hopefully you guys like this. My picks have been pretty solid. So let me know what you guys think, what you disagree with. This will be really early. So let me know what you think. First game, we have the New York Jets at the Falcons. Big injuries. Well, it's not really injuries for the Falcons. I know Calvin Ridley is not traveling with the team, and same with Russell Gage. So that's pretty big news. And the Jets, the main injury that I see for them is Marcus May. Is he out? I think he is out. So that's pretty big news. Besides that, nobody else I can see is that big of a difference for me. This is going to be a tough game. I don't think either team is fantastic, but here I am going to take an upset. I haven't taken a ton of those this year. I'm going to take the Jets spread and money line. I think they looked pretty solid against the Titans. I think the Titans do have a bad defense, but I think Zach Wilson had some really good throws, really good plays. I think the defense for the Jets played really well last week. I know that Julio and A.J. Brown were both out, I think. And that's just really hard for the Titans. I mean, even though they did stop Derrick Henry. But same issue is going to be with the Falcons. They're going to be out their main receivers. So it's going to be interesting how they adapt. I know Cordero Patterson played great last week, but we'll see if he can take it up 2 weeks in a row. But I think the Jets won this one. Next game here, we have the Philadelphia Eagles at the Carolina Panthers. Lane Johnson is out personal, which I still haven't heard anything as to why he's actually out. And for the Panthers, we have Christian McCaffrey's doubtful. Shaq Thompson's doubtful. Out. And then so is Cam Irving. Yatir Gross-Matos is questionable. This is going to be tough. I do think I like the Panthers. I think they're just a better team. The Eagles are one of those teams I think could keep it close though. But here, give me the Panthers and give me the Panthers -3. I think this is a game where the Panthers come out and prove that they might be kind of good. Sam Darnold might have kind of a career renaissance here. Even though McCaffrey's out, I think Hubbard can kind of bounce into that role. Not as well, obviously, because it's Trisha McCaffrey, for Christ's sake. But I think Sam Darnold might be past C and go. So give me the Panthers and give me a -3. Next game, we have the Miami Dolphins at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 10-point favorites. That's kind of crazy. The Dolphins are only questionable is Devontae Parker, but we know that Robert Nkemke's, wow, their injury list is insane. Gronk's out, Winfield's out. I know a few of their corners on are now, so that's huge. Giovanni Bernard's questionable, same with JPP and Jamal Dean, which is pretty big. So I'm just going to keep it easy with this one. I think the Bucs are going to win the game, but I think the Dolphins are going to keep it close. The Bucs are really banged up on defense, especially with that secondary, and that's not something you want to deal with, regardless or not if the Dolphins have Tua or Jacoby. It really doesn't matter. I think that's just going to be tough for the Buccaneers to fight that uphill battle there. So I do like the Bucs to win, but I think the Dolphins cover 10. I mean, it's an easy line with 10 points of being able to say, hey, I mean, they're an NFL team, they get paid too, you know? Here we have the Detroit Lions at the Minnesota Vikings -10. Ooh, wow, Penne's on the injury list. Don't want to see that. Hawkinson's also there. Trey Flowers, DeAndre Swift, Jamal Williams. They actually have some really significant guys on their injury list. They're all questionable though. Michael Pierce is out. That's pretty big, and Dalvin Cook is questionable. This is a game also where I think the Vikings are going to win pretty handedly, and the Lions probably are going to cover, only because the Vikings offense looked terrible last week. I know the Browns defense is pretty solid, but still it's not really the showing you want to see from them. But this Lions team has some weird fight to them, so I think they might cover 10, but I also think it could be, it's not going to be similar to the Bills, because I don't think the Vikings are going to beat them by 40 like the Bills did last week to the Texans. I don't think it's going to happen. But give me Detroit +10 and give me the Vikings money line. Next game, we have the best game of the week. Obviously, we have the Packers -3 at the Cincinnati Bengals. The Packers are missing Josh Myers, Jair Alexander. Jair Alexander actually just went on IR, which sucks. Ellington Jenkins and Dennis Kelly. I'm pretty sure both of those guys are going to go. I think I saw that on Twitter today. And the Bengals do have a pretty long list. Suafilo is out. I know Mike Thomas is actually out now. Trey Hopkins. I think everybody else is supposed to go. Joe Mixon's supposed to test up his ankle tomorrow morning, so that'll be interesting to see. This is going to be an interesting one. I do think the Packers are probably the better team, but I think the Bengals are going to keep it close. I think it's going to be a huge game for both teams, kind of to see who's real, who's not. See if the Bengals are pretenders or not. I think it's going to be a big game. It's going to be tough. They've got Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, and that's really hard to cover, especially with Chidobe Awuzie. He was questionable at the beginning of the week, but he's going to go, so that's huge. But give me the Packers, but give me the Bengals +3. I think they cover and keep it close. Next, we have the New Orleans Saints at the Washington football team. The Saints are missing 2 starting linemen, Armstead and McCoy. That's pretty big news. And the football team is Brandon Sheriff and Tommy Brown are out, and Antonio Gibson, Curtis Samuel, and Darren Payne are all questionable. That's pretty big. Those are some big injuries right there, honestly. See, this is tough because the football team has had a really close game with the Falcons, ended up winning it. The Saints have had that really big win, kind of had a letdown after. This is tough for me. I don't know. I haven't really gotten to watch either of these two teams super closely. You know, I think I'm just going to play it safe here, and I'm not really sure how safe it is, but I think I'm going to take the Saints and take the Saints -2. I just think they're probably a better football team. The Washington football team's defense, I don't know what's happened to them. They just haven't looked like themselves last year. I don't know if it's scheme, what they're actually doing there, or why they look so bad, but they've got the players, they just haven't been playing super well, which is really weird. But give me the Saints and give me a -2. Next, we have the Tennessee Titans -4.5 at the Jacksonville Jaguars. And the Titans have a laundry list of injuries. I saw they had like 21 players on their injury report earlier this week. Big yikes. I know Julio's going to be out, is what I've heard, or what's it look like here. Brett Kern, their punter, is also going to be out. John Brown's out. I'm trying to keep the guys that are pretty big in what's actually going to play a difference in the game. Questionables: Taylor Lewan and Bud Dupree. And then for the Jaguars, simply anybody notables out. I'm going to take the Titans to win and cover this game. Derrick Henry has been a beast against the Jags ever since he came into the league. I think he has 10 games. He's like 12 touchdowns and a ton of yards. He's an absolute freak against them. I think having A.J. Brown back adds another element to that. They can't just stuff the box against Derrick because they're going to have to look out for the pass with A.J. Brown. I think the Jags are coming off a really disappointing loss against the Bengals. They should have been in the game closer than they were. And then you have Urban Meyer going out grinding on some girl, having a girl grind on him actually. And that place is a dumpster fire. So give me the Titans -3 and Titans win. And next up, we have the New England Patriots at the Houston Texans. The Patriots are -9-point favorites, which is a lot, but they are missing a lot of guys. Oh my gosh. They're missing Trent Brown and Shaq Mason. That's pretty big. Cody Davis, Kyle Duggar, Nick Folk, Jonathan Jones, and Kyle Van Noy are all questionable, it looks like. Or I don't even know what. They don't have a designation there. That's weird. Deshaun Watson, not injury related again, out. It looks like the Texans are majorly healthy. I think I'm gonna take the Texans +9 here. Weird pick, I know. But I think Patriots are gonna win. I know the Patriots O-line is really banged up this week. I know just Trent Brown and Shaq Mason are the ones here that pop off, but I'm pretty sure they have 2 other guys that are banged up. So I'm gonna take the Texans +9 and the Patriots to win, just purely the injury thing. And I also think huge spreads in the NFL are kind of dangerous just because these guys are professionals. They get paid too. It's a corny line. Everybody says it, but I think it holds true here. And I don't really know how for real the Patriots are. I know they kept it really close with the Bucs, but I think that not really a fluke type of thing. But the weather was weird. It was such a hyped up game. You had a rookie quarterback. I didn't get to watch a ton of it. I was seeing Daniel Tosh, so weird flex there. But I think the Patriots win, but I think the Texans keep it close. Next, we have the Broncos versus the Steelers. Broncos are -1-point favorites. The Steelers look major. Cam Sutton's out, Carlos Davis is out, and James Washington. Those are the only guys of note. I don't know who Rashad Coward is. And the Broncos are missing Albert something. I know that they're trying to see if Teddy Bridgewater will go for the Broncos. I don't know. I think he's passed concussion protocol with the team doctor. I think they said he did off with a different doctor, which I would assume he's going to pass it then. But man, the Steelers have looked bad. This looks like a game that could be an upset, and I wouldn't be shocked if the Steelers win. But as of right now, what I've seen so far, give me the Broncos -1 and give me them winning straight out. Steelers just don't look great. I mean, they'll win this game because I've picked this now, but I'm not super confident with them as of right now. So we're gonna go Broncos and then Broncos -1. We have the Chicago Bears at the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders are -5.5-point favorites. The Bears are gonna have David Montgomery out. I know his knee injury is not great. Keem Hicks is also gonna be out. Khalil Mack's questionable, and Sean Gibson is also questionable. Pretty big injuries on their side. For the Raiders, Damon Arnett is out. I know he's been pretty bad the first years. Maybe that's not a huge loss time coming out. And Peyton Barber is questionable. So right there, the Raiders look healthier. I've liked the way the Raiders have been playing. I know they didn't play great against the Chargers, but I think the Chargers are also a really good football team. This is going to be another Justin Fields start, so maybe they can send some stuff out there to confuse him. I'm not sure how I feel about Fields going out there again. I know they won last week against the Lions, but also the Lions are pretty bad. This is going to be an interesting game, that's for sure. I think it's going to be a fun one to watch. But I do think the Raiders win and they cover 5.5. I just think at the end of the day, they're the better team. They're hot. besides the Chargers game, their offense has looked pretty solid, and same with their defense. But I mean, when you have a defense that's playing against Justin Herbert, who's really, really good, and they have all those offensive weapons, it's hard to slow him down, especially when Austin Eckler plays a game like that you know he's capable of. Also, shout out Austin Eckler. Helmet right there for him. But give me the Raiders and give me a -5.5. Next, we have the Cleveland Browns at the Chargers. Chargers are -2-point favorites. The laundry list of injuries for the Browns, my goodness. Greg Newsome, Chris Hubbard, and Jedrick Wills are all out. Clowney, Garrett, Hill, McKinley, David Njoku, J.C. Treader, Denzel Ward are all questionable. I'm assuming the majority of them will go. That's tough. J.C. Jackson's doubtful, and Chris Harris Jr. is questionable. Chargers have had some really good play in the secondary, though. I really do like the Chargers in this game. One, they're home, and then two, the Browns are super banged up, especially with Baker not playing super well. He has that labrum injury in his left shoulder, so not his throwing arm, which is still a big deal. But man, Chargers look really, really good right now, and I think they're coming off a hot stretch. I think it's going to be a big game for them. They're going to come out with the force, and I think at the end of the day, if you're looking at this, their teams might be pretty similar all around when you look at the roster build, and I'm going to go with the better quarterback. I think Justin Herbert's better. I'm not sure if that's really a hot take, so give me Herbert and the Chargers -2. Next, we have the 49ers at the Cardinals. Cardinals are -5-point favorites. Garoppolo is out. George Kittle is out, so he's on IR. Rip for my guy. Love him. Hope he gets well soon. Kinlaw is questionable, and the Cardinals have a bunch of guys that are banged up, it looks like. Murphy's out, Justin Murray's out. Beachum, Edmonds, Williams are all going to be questionable. This is going to be tough. The rookie thing is what I'm more thinking of. It's the fact that Lance is going to be out there without Kittle, who's a really good safety blanket, and I think that's just going to be tough. I think the Cardinals really, really dang good. I like the 49ers defense too, though, but I when it comes down to it, I think the fact that Lance is going to make his first start against the Cardinals have looked really good on the defense side of the ball as well as offensively. So I think I'm going to take the Cardinals to win and cover here. I could see the Cardinals winning with the Niners covering the +5, but I just think the Cardinals are going to put up a lot of points, and I think it's going to be hard for Trey Lance to match that in his NFL debut. Next, we have the New York Giants at the Dallas Cowboys. Sterling Shepard, Slayton, Jabril Peppers, and Ben Brenson are all out for the Giants. Andrew Thomas is questionable. He's had a really good season so far. And for the Cowboys, it looks like nobody huge is out. Amari and Zeke are all questionable. But besides that, they look pretty healthy. This is one where you've seen a guy like Daniel Jones have a really great year. He's played really well, especially because he stopped turning the ball over. That was a big knock on him, and rightfully so. He's turned the ball over way too much, but this year he's played really, really well. I just don't think the Giants are that great of a team all around. That O-line is still bad. The defense is questionable. Saquon had a really good game last week, which was awesome when they beat the Saints. I think the Cowboys are going to win. It's more so to me, do I think the Giants are going to cover and keep it close? And the fact that it's in the NFC Beast, give me a yes. I think the Cowboys defense is a little rough, and I think they're susceptible. So give me the Cowboys, but give me the Giants +7. Don't let me down, G-Men. Next, we have arguably maybe the best game on the slate tomorrow. We've got the Bills at the Chiefs. The Bills, Matt Milano, Epinenza, and Tywan Jones are all questionable. Probably will all go. Same with Chris Jones and Shadarius Ward for the Chiefs. They're all questionable. My assumption is they'll all go. Most of the time, if they're questionable at this point, they're still going to go. This is going to be a really, really good game of football. Obviously, we have the high-powered offenses with the Bills and the Chiefs. Both offenses can score at will pretty much. I think it's going to come down to whose defense can get a stop, and right now, I trust the Bills a hell of a lot more than the Chiefs. I just think it's going to be a really, really big game to see if this Chiefs team is going to be able to overcome that defense, because that defense is pretty bad. And if you, this is huge, because I think they're what? The Chiefs are, give me one second. Chiefs are 2-2 going in this game. If they drop to 2-3, that's kind of big to me. I don't know, but that's going to be a really, really fun game to watch. But I'm taking the upset here. Give me the Bills. Give me them +2.5. Oh, and then the last game of the week, I don't see a spread on here, but we have some injuries. We have the Colts at the Ravens. Kwity Paye, Braden Smith, Rocky Yassin are all going to be out, which is pretty big news. Ronnie Stanley is going to be out, and Villanueva is questionable. That's big for their tackle room. Right now, what I'm seeing is Ravens -7 as the spread. You know, this one, I just think the Colts are really banged up at this point. Quentin Nelson's also out. We've still got Wentz playing on the sprained ankles, which is really tough. I give him a ton of props for that. Playing on 2 sprained ankles is no joke. But again, I think this just comes down to who's probably the better team. And I think the Ravens are really good. I think it could be a dogfight for some reason. I think it could get ugly. I don't think the Ravens offense has looked particularly great this year. They struggled against the Lions, and then last week I don't know who they beat, but I think they're gonna win this one, and they might win it handedly. So give me the Ravens, and then give me a -7. And that's gonna do it for this one, guys. Those are all of my picks for week 5. Let me know what you think I got right. Let me know what you think I got wrong, and check in next week to see what my record is and see what how I'm doing. But until next time, peace out and stay safe.